Alright, so we're grinding feed. You can probably see the corn dropping in out of that auger. Maybe. There's some. Standing a little ways away so you guys can hear me. I'll talk about the supplements up behind there in a minute. Right now we're using the 14 to pull the feed wagon and feed hay with the bale spear, because the 560 is in the barn right there, split in half. If you haven't seen that video, it's the last video, go check it out. But because we're using the 14, I just hooked the feed wagon up to my truck to get it full, and I'll take it back out to the shed. And then the 14 will feed tomorrow. But got the 1486 running the New Holland 354. You can see we were out of feed. Fed the last of it today. My uncle's feeding it. You can see we got the Bobcat. I just filled the bucket. I already dumped the first round of supplements and minerals in. And this tank's probably 2/3, 3/4 of the way full. So we'll be unloading it soon. Gonna have to knock some more corn down. Crib's still got plenty in it, but we're getting down to where we gotta rake a little. I could have got just a little closer with that auger there, and we could have had it lower, but that's how it ended up this time. So we're making it work. And I'll talk to you guys probably when we're unloading or something exciting happens. You can see we got quite a bit of corn back here. Nice mound in the center. Some over there. But we're getting down. There's not a door right there. There used to be one, but Grandpa boarded it up years ago. So I might knock some of that down for him. I'm just debating on if I can get down in there and then back up out easily. Well, definitely not easily, but it's doable. I'm like a squirrel. I can climb on all those boards up there. There's the 560 split in half. So I guess I'm gonna maneuver my way down in there. Probably not hold the camera while I do that. Nice soft corn landing, I guess. But we're gonna have to get a conveyor. Well, that conveyor goes underneath one end or the other, and then we can get a lot closer to the center and not rake as much for next time. But we'll make this work this time. Yep, got down in here. Holes all the way up there. But before somebody comments and says what I'm doing is dangerous, before you feel the need to say what I'm doing is dangerous, this is ear corn, not shell corn, so it doesn't collapse like shell corn does. And we're not pulling out of the bottom, we're pulling out of a side, so I'm not in danger of sinking up in here. It's not like a grain bin where we're pulling out of the bottom. But I'm just kicking corn down for him. Makes it a lot easier for him. And it goes faster. But I'm gonna kick some of this down. Then I'm gonna climb up there, get back out. I don't want to get out down there because there's a spinning auger, and that would be dangerous. And we're full. Went a little over full. I was talking to you guys. It is humid out. There's the feed. Climbing a ladder one-handed. You can see we sprayed a little bit out. We'll scoop that off at the end. Nothing too much. You can see we got it pretty empty. All we do, come over, two-handed job here, push this back down, that shuts it off, this opens up so the auger can bring it up, dump it into this auger and unload it. Once there's pretty much nothing coming out, I pulled it and jiggled it, but nothing coming out. Flip that off, then I'll go get the tractor some more RPM because I throttle it down. And then give Bowser the thumbs up. We'll start feeding it again. Alright, so while he's raking it in, I let a little bit get in there so there's something to mix it with. And then this just continuously mixes so we can dump all the minerals and stuff in. We dump 15 pounds of yeast. That helps the cows break down the corn better, really digests it, makes it a lot smoother digestion for them. We do Agland Beef Maker 6. It's got a whole list of stuff in it. All the ingredients. Then 47.5% soybean meal, and all of it comes from Growtech. In case anybody's wondering, if you do order from them, just let them know where you heard about them from. Doesn't really help me, but I'm sure they appreciate their customers giving them a good word. We've been using their stuff for years, and our cattle love it. They do good on it. So I'm gonna dump it in back here. The reason we dump it in on that auger instead of going there is there's no reason for this to be ground because it's already fine. So it just goes straight into the mixer. There's a big auger in the center there that brings it up and dumps it out the top, and it's constantly mixing it, pulling from the bottom to the top. So this doesn't need to be ground, so it just goes straight into the tank. And then the corn's going into the hammer mill that has a bunch of hammers that are slapping it into a screen and pushing it through. I believe it's a 3/4 inch screen. That works pretty good for ear corn. Try to go a little smaller if you were using shelled corn or other grains that are already shelled. But it makes it nice and fine, as you can see in the wagon, breaks all the kernels up. That yeast gets in there, helps the cows' digestion, and they break all this corn down good. So I'm gonna start dumping this in now that we got some in there and it's mixing good. I gotta dump the rest of this in, but I forgot to tell you guys the recipe. It's 15 pounds of that yeast, 8 pounds of salt, 75 pounds of Agland Beef Maker 6, and 300 pounds of 47.5% soybean meal per 5,000 pounds of ground ear corn. Just so if anybody else does something similar, or if you're using different grains, talk to the guys at GrowTech, they'll make you up a recipe that's perfect for your operation and what you guys are trying to do, and then you can adjust a little bit off that depending on how old they are and what mixture you want. All I'm thinking about now is I can't believe we used to do this for fun. Climb up high in the ear corn crib and knock as much corn down as we could. Used to be a game, make an avalanche. Of course that was back before, I guess, we worked full-time jobs when I was a kid. I mean, I'm talking back when we were 8. We just climb up here, kick corn down, have a good time. But I don't know, it's not the same after going to work for 40 plus hours a week. Then you come home and spend your weekend kicking corn. But still a good life. Now I gotta get back up there. And I kicked a lot of the corn out. But I climb up on this cable, get on that, hop out. Probably only 9 feet up there, maybe 10. But it is humid out. I think I've sweat through every piece of clothing I have on. Well, got about 10,000 pounds of ground ear corn mix there. We're done for the day. I'm gonna back this up into the shed there, and then I'm gonna call it a day. It is humid out, and it's, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so that means it's time to quit.